Hey guys, today we are going to do what I like to call function fluency. So as we've shown and we've mentioned, functions can be represented in a lot of different ways. So here you see they give us a set of points, and we're going to translate that to a table and a graph, an equation, and then we're going to break the pieces of the function apart. So let me read this to you. First, we're going to do this together on the video. You're going to follow along in your notebook, and then you're going to do this one on your own. You're going to work it out in your notebook and then put the answers in a Google form that will attach to the assignment. So the question says, express the relation, it gives us a set of points, as a table and a graph. Then state the intercepts, equation, and the domain and range of the relation. So we're gonna first, we could just graph it if we wanted, but first we're gonna put the values in a table. So all the ones I highlighted in purple are the x values, right? Because we have x and y. So I'm just going to write those here. And then these are all the y values. And we're going to put those in the table. So follow along in your notebook. Copy, you don't have to copy the whole thing in your notebook, just the set of points. And then this table. So if you remember from our lesson, I'll just give you a quick hint. These 2 points are information that you're going to need somewhere here. So if you remember from our lesson, then you're ahead of the game and you found 2 of the answers already. If not, just wait. I'm going to go through the whole thing and you'll get it in a minute. So now I can graph these. You can write the numbers if you want, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste any time. So let's see, -4, 4. So I'm going to go over to -4 on the x-axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the y. I'm going to graph that point. Then I'm going to go to -3. Go to 2, +2. So I'm graphing each point. So these are the points they give me. I'm going to put my line. It's always hard to draw a straight line on the iPad. So there's my line. So I need to find the x-intercept, which I know is where it crosses the x-axis, and I need to find the y-intercept, which is where I know it crosses the y-axis. So the x-intercept, from last week we were teaching you how to do it when given the equation, but when you have the equation, you make y equals 0. So we can just look at our table and see where does y equal 0, and that's our x-intercept. So same thing we did, we made, for the y-intercept, we made x equals 0 in the equation. So we can just look at our table and see where x equals 0, and that's our x-intercept. So now we have to make an equation. So remember, y equals mx plus b. B is being the y-intercept, which we have. So we have part of that. The y-intercept is -4. So we have too many variables here we can't solve. So we can, there's multiple ways we can go about this. We can find the slope, which is what I think I'm going to do. Or we could substitute, we could pick a point and substitute the values of x and y. But I'm going to find the slope since that's what we went over last week. So again, m is the slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we could just pick any points that we want. So I'm going to rewrite the points I'm going to use here. So I'm going to use the first point and the second point. Why not? So I'm going to write x1, y1. I always have to label my points because I always get confused. So please do that as well. So we have, I'm also going to color code them because you know I love my colors. So y2 is blue, y1 is yellow. Oops, see, I even get confused. y1 is pink, and x2 is yellow, and x1 is purple. Okay, so now I'm going to color code first, which is why I do the color coding, so I can color code first. So blue and pink are on the top, yellow and purple are on the bottom. So y2 is +2, and y1 is +4, so 2 minus 4, and then x2 is -3, and x1 is -4. So 2 minus 4 is -2, and then -3 minus -4, the two negative signs turn into addition, so it would be -3 plus 4, so that would be 1. I always want to check my calculations. Yep, +1. So the slope is -2 over 1, which you can also just write as -2. So now I have my equation, y equals -2x, and again, I have to, my y-intercept is -4. So that's my equation, y equals -2x minus 4. So this lesson, I found this somewhere and I really loved it because it involves every single aspect of function that you need to know. That's why I called it function fluency. So of course, if I'm going too fast, just pause the video at any time to take your notes and do what you have to do. Now I need to see the domain, so I can write it with brackets, right? And then just write all the x values, because the domain is the x values. So in this case, that's the easiest way to do it, okay? But you can do it that way, so you could just write out all the x values. Or you can say that x is between -4 and 0. So whichever way you want to do it, you can. So y, I like to write it that way just because it is really less writing. So I'm also going to say, so I said that x is between -4 and 0. I got these numbers from the table and also from the points. So I'm going to say y is between 4 and -4. Well, yeah, I always gets a little complicated here because you should write the lowest value first. So again, this is where I got the numbers. And of course, these are the y values. So if you wanted, you could just write out the y values, but you should start with the negatives first. So whatever way you want to write it. And there you have completely evaluated this function in every way possible. And you are fluent in this function. The only thing is we didn't actually, should have made a point here to say what type of slope is it. So this is a negative slope. And the way I know that is just a trick. You know, I love to always show you my tricks just in case they help you. Similar to the vertical line test, I always look and I see, is the line going up or down when I go from left to right? And this is going down, so that's how I know it's negative. Because sometimes, I don't know why, ever since I was in high school I got confused with that, so I don't know if that trick helps anyone, but that's why I always tell you my weird little tricks. So you don't have to write the slope, I left that part out, but go ahead and do the next one. If you need help, of course, replay the video, whichever portion you're up to, and put the answers in the Google form. It's going to be just a blank short response, so you're going to have to write out x-intercept, unless I make separate questions. Maybe I'll just make them separate so you know exactly where to put it. But you will have to work it out in your notebook to get the right answer. And if you need any help, of course, just email us or comment on Google Classroom.